Hi and welcome to my channel, Finding My Voice Again. I'm Rebecca and this is My Buddy Boots. My channel is all about my experience and journey of having dysphonia. And this is part 2 of 2 episodes where I've been talking around the impact of having dysphonia when it comes to emotions. So episode 7, which was part 1, covered all of the different emotions and emotional impacts that I've had due to my dysphonia. And this episode is going to be covering how I've managed them and what's helped me deal with my well-being and my overall sort of mental health. So, one thing that I found really helped with my low moods and ill mental health was getting outside, being around nature as much as possible. So I do recommend that if there's a green space that you can go to, even if it's just for 10 minutes a day, it really truly can give you a completely new perspective on the day. There is something about the outdoors and getting fresh air that helps you take a moment to really process and to relax. A tactic that I used often when I was outside to help manage with the pain associated with dysphonia was using my 5 senses to distract. So I'd find a nice green space where I could relax and I'd think, what can I see in this space? What can I hear? What can I smell? What can I feel? And also, what can I taste? Because what I do recommend doing if you're going out into a really nice green space is take a hot drink and a snack with you that you'd really enjoy and just give yourself 10 minutes to really process your surrounding and be in that present moment. It works very much in the same concept as mindfulness, and it just gives you a little bit of escapism from the dysphonia. Another thing that I have found has continuously helped me is doing relaxation breathing. So that's why I breathe in for 3. Really nice big breath in so your stomach pops out, holding it for 4 seconds, and then just breathing out for 5. I do this about 10 times in a row, but you may want to do it many more, whatever works for you, to help just relax the body. And you do find that your shoulders just naturally drop. So I did speak in my previous episode about how I really suffered with insomnia, and there was a few things that I found helped with my quality of sleep and with that insomnia. So I have no issues falling asleep, but I would very frequently wake up within an hour or 2 of falling asleep, and I really struggled to get back to sleep. So one thing I did was have herbal remedies. These are available over the counter and they take many forms, but I found that sort of tongue drops and tablets worked best for me. I also limited my screen time before going to bed. So 2 to 3 hours before bed, I wouldn't be using my mobile phone, and I'd often opt to listen to an audible book or read instead of watching a TV show. And if I did watch a TV show, I would often watch something that's very light-hearted, not something that's going to keep the brain ticking after, long after you've turned off the TV. I also invested in a neck supporting pillow because I thought, well, if I'm going to be lying here awake, I might as well take in all the comfort that I can. And that was also to help with the neck and shoulder pain that I have, which is associated with the dysphonia. Another thing I really enjoy from a relaxation perspective is having an Epsom salt bath. And so I'd spend at least 20 minutes just soaking in a bath full of salt and lavender bubble bath. and really just taking a bit of time for me time. Linked to that is I made time for TLC for me. And for me, what that meant was really covering myself in lavender smelling products. For me personally, lavender is a smell that I associate with relaxation. It gives me a lot of comfort, and that meant for me, every time I smelt something with a little bit of lavender in, be a hand wash, body wash, a moisturiser, sort of like a calming oil, I would just take a second just to breathe. And it's all about that relaxation, breathing, and using those distraction techniques such as sort of relaxation smells to really help the body relax. As you can probably hear, Boots is on full-on chit-chat mode right now. He's just putting his 5 pence into this. So I also am a huge bookworm. I absolutely love escaping into a book. But from a wellbeing perspective, there were 2 books that really helped me. The first one was The Comfort Book by Matt Haig. Every single chapter was like having a hug. It just resonated so much with what I was going through. And it doesn't have to be dysphonia. It really could be anything in life that's giving you a bit of a hard time to deal with. It just offers literally so much comfort. After its name, The Comfort Book. And I liked it so much I got it on Audible and as a paper copy. So no matter what, I've got it at hand. And for me, the chapter that really helped me was The Comfort of Uncertainty. All of these chapters are exceptionally brief, but they have so much power and impact in such little words. And I'm sure you'll find your own favourite chapter if you too read this. So another book that I really love, and it is suitable for any age, from 8 years through to 80. It just seems to resonate with me and any age. And that is The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse. And that's by Charlie Macquarie. And once again, that comes in quite a few forms. So there's actually an animation of it now, and you can get the book that's animated. So I really do recommend for a hug and a bug, a hug and a bug, a hug and a book. I do recommend those 2 books. Having my trusty hot water, just to help moisturise my throat there. It's hay fever season here in the UK, so my throat's feeling a little bit sore and the heat's making my throat a little bit dry. So at the moment I am always by a mug of hot water and having my glycerin pastils. So back to how I helped my ill mental health and well-being with dysphonia. So I really got into different hobbies to help distract me from the pain and to really sort of help with my long-term sick leave off work, which I found very difficult to manage to sort of fill the time and to give me something to look forward to. So for me, I got really into Lego. It's also very good for my neuropathic pain in my arms and wrists because it sort of trains the brain that you can use your hands. And it's a very positive experience. There's quite a lot of reward when you do complete something, especially if it's a really challenging Lego set. I also really got into puzzles, and like I say, I am a really big bookworm, so really got into a large variety of books. I have piles and piles of books now, and I enjoyed every single one, just trying totally different genres, be it Audible or like a paper copy. But there could be a million different hobbies that work for you, from yoga to jet skiing, from doing knitting through to cooking. Find something that you can just get lost in and completely immerse yourself in and makes you feel good. Another thing that I do, I've always done with my chronic pain, is enjoy YouTube meditations. There's hundreds of different meditation videos lasting all different lengths, but I'm sure you'll find one that hopefully works for you. And I would proactively do these several times a day just to really relax my body and my mind as well. When my mind was racing and getting stuck in anxiety loops, I'd put on one of those tapes, sit back and just reset. I also kept a journal as well. So because of my neuropathic pain, I couldn't write much. These consisted of just 2 or 3 sentences about what I was feeling, sort of emotionally. I'd write down sort of the level of throat pain I was experiencing, and I'd write down my mood, like a general, like, happy, sad, anything like that, okay. And then I would also end it with 3 positives of the day. And I would do this right before I went to bed. It'd be the last thing I did. And the idea there was I went to bed thinking of 3 happy things. Things that made the day worthwhile. Regardless of everything else, regardless of the pain, regardless of the dysphonia, 3 things that had made me feel good. And I just fell asleep focusing on them. I have also done CBT therapy, so that's cognitive behavioural therapy. I did that through Silver Cloud, it's called. It's like an app which takes you through different tasks and activities to help you process your mood, any triggers, coping mechanisms, etc. I've also done talking therapy. I actually had my last session last week. I did about 6 sessions in total. So talking therapy, also known as counselling, it was completely eye-opening for me. It really made me understand why I felt so like I did with the dysphonia, because what was challenging for me was I've had many health conditions which have been hugely life impacting, but I've not felt negative or so low about any of them until the dysphonia. And it was a combination of my sort of need to control things, my sort of anxiety around uncertainty with the dysphonia, and it really helped me understand why I was feeling the way I was and what I could do differently to help with that. And it really taught me that it's quite okay to just be okay. You don't need to be happy and really positive all of the time. You don't always have to find a silver lining. But it also taught me that if you're having a bad day, you're having a bad day. And you don't need to feel guilty about that, or you don't have to hide it. It's absolutely okay to not feel okay, and it's having dysphonia, it's a bad thing and it's a hard time, and it really helped me come to accept and come to terms with what had happened with the dysphonia. So that's just sort of a number of approaches that I took to managing all of the emotional impact of having dysphonia. I do hope trying to get my words out now. I do really hope that some of them, if not all of them, help you in some way, and just sort of experiment with different approaches. There's lots of different support and resources out there, and please don't hesitate to utilise them. They're there to be used, and it's absolutely okay, like I say, to not be okay and get that support. So my next episode is going to be talking about my setback that I had. I had a setback a couple of months ago with my dysphonia, and it really did shake me. It really did I completely crashed. So I'm going to talk about that, what sort of triggered it, how it felt, and then sort of talk about how I came out the other side, because when you're experiencing a setback, it feels like there's no way forward, like it's just down. But I can reassure you can have a setback and you absolutely can bounce back. So that's all from me and from Boots. I do hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I look forward to doing my next video for you. Thank you very much for watching, and do feel free to subscribe to my channel.